Every Sunday I'm front center, looking forward to playoffs. And I keep me a double wings, cause you know I gotta have it. Yeah, they say I'm just a fan. What? Well, I say I'm a fanatic. And I fast forward commercial too. I ain't going to the bathroom. You know where I'm at, I ain't hard to find. You can catch me in the lab room.
Who else could it be? Me, your man, Louie T. Welcome to Thursday Night Football Overtime. NFC South family business. You know how the family do it. Panthers at home. Protect the house against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Something the Panthers have done quite often in the Cam Newton era against Jameis Winston and company. But tonight wasn't that night. And this is really disappointing if you're a Carolina Panthers fan. And I think this is a sign of things to come for the Panthers this year. They're probably not going to be a very good team, and that's really disappointing because I thought the Panthers were going to be good this season. And 2 straight losses to start the season off at home. Now you got to go on the road, and at home to Tampa on a primetime Thursday night spot, no less. Not to disrespect Tampa, but you're supposed to beat the Buccaneers at home. They're a different team this year. Different defense. I told you I believe in Bruce Arians. I told you I absolutely love Todd Bowles as a defensive coordinator. Hell, I still love Todd Bowles as a head coach, but that's nor here nor there. He blitzed the draws off of Cam Newton and the Carolina Panthers tonight, and they simply had no answer. And Shaq Barrett, they made Shaq Barrett look like Von Miller tonight. All right, Darrell Williams is trash. That Panthers O-line for the most part tonight was trash. Christian McCaffrey couldn't get off. And again, credit given. All of it needs to be given to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They forced the issue. They hit Cam Newton. They shut down Christian McCaffrey. They got in the face of those receivers. They made it tough on the Panthers all night long. All night long, all night, oh, all night long, all night. They couldn't do nothing all night long. And they had field position all night long. And the Bucs consistently turned the faucet off. That's a tough one to swallow if you're the Panthers. And if you're the Buccaneers, goddamn, it feels good tonight to get one in a place that has been a house of horrors for you over the years. Jameis Winston with a 15-game losing streak on the road. What is it, 12 or 15? Either way, goddamn, that's terrible. That shit's over now. Wow. Lot to take away from this game. Let's dive into it. Let's start with the Buccaneers. To the victors go the spoils. And the first thing you got to talk about is the defense. They were the catalyst tonight. They were the reason this game was won. And time after time, they came up with big stop after big stop. You just kept waiting for them to give up one big play. And they never did. I kept waiting for one missed tackle on a DJ Moore slant or one corner route to Curtis Samuel. Never, ever trust a man with 2 first names. And I just kept waiting on a Curtis Samuel corner route or something to bust wide open. That play on a 3rd down where Curtis Samuel was wide open on a shallow cross, if Cam Newton can be accurate with that football, I don't know, maybe that was the one. That everybody else was in man coverage with their backs turned. It was him, mano a mano with the safety. That could have been the one. But as often the case, tonight Cam was not accurate. All right? I watched the game last week versus the Rams. Cam was not accurate. And you're not telling me anything. His ass ain't healthy. But we'll get to the Cam Newton and the Carolina Panthers a little bit later on. The Bucs defensively, man, was I impressed with Shaq Barrett. Obviously, how could you not be? He was the MVP. He was the star of this game. I mean, if he gets to see the Panthers 2 more times this year, which he won't, obviously, but if he were to see them 2 more, he'd probably lead the league in sacks this season. God damn, they tried to get that man double-digit sacks tonight. Jesus. He was outstanding. I thought that Carlton Davis, although he got the penalty late, I thought Carlton Davis was outstanding tonight. Give me some more Carlton Davis, goddammit. He was all over the football field. I I was also equally impressed with the front of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Vita Vea looked really good tonight. You know, was in the face of Cam Newton, pressured him, helped stop the run. The rookie Anthony Nelson forced a fumble. I mean, this defense was flying around, man. Say what you want. A lot of young boys in that secondary, but they stood up to the challenge tonight. And I'm not saying, I'm just saying Todd Bowles makes a world of a difference, man. How many times, you know, and it's funny because when it works, you're a genius. When it doesn't, why are you blitzing, right? But how many times, and that's always been Todd Bowles' MO. Going back to the Arizona days, I'm going to blitz the draws off and you do something about it. And how many times did they blitz Cam Newton's ass tonight? Zero coverage. Everybody man up, take somebody, stay tight. And they weren't always there. But when you hit home and you affect the passer, it doesn't have to be the cleanest at the back end. And it wasn't the cleanest tonight. Curtis Samuel, never ever, trust a man with 2 first names, was wide open on that bench route in the end zone. Cam got hit, which was the theme of the night. Cam got hit. And again, you gotta credit this defense, man. Jesus, they were so good tonight. They really, really were. You look at the offense, and Peyton Barber, my man Reed has told me about Peyton Barber for the last 2 years. Lou, I like Peyton Barber, man. Lou, I like Peyton. And his numbers are never gaudy. He's never putting up 18 carries, 125 yards, and a touchdown. That's never his stat line. It's always something like it was tonight. You know, 23 for 85 and a touch. But it's like, man, when you watch him, you're like, man, those were some gritty yards, man. Those were some nice moves to pick up those yards. I like Peyton Barber, man. Thought he was impressive tonight. It wasn't always the cleanest for Mike Evans. He was fighting out there with James Bradbury, and they always have battles. But he made some plays when plays needed to be made, including that 41-yarder right before halftime that helped set up the touchdown. But then, Chris Godwin, man. And I remember Reed, my guy Reed, again, was like, Lou, I love Chris Godwin. I want my Bucs to draft him. And they did. He was outstanding tonight. He was the best Bucs wide receiver on the field tonight. Now, we know what Mike Evans is, but tonight, Chris Godwin was that dude. You know, on 3rd and 6, when Jameis Winston needed somebody, it was Chris Godwin tonight. And he went over a buck and some change tonight. He was outstanding, had a touchdown grab in the first half. This Buccaneers offense, the offensive line did a really good job of protecting Jameis Winston. And Winston did a good job of protecting himself from himself. There were a couple of times where you're like, Jameis definitely wants to throw a pick. But he refrained from doing anything foolish. And so you got to give Jameis some credit for not making the back break. Because I kept waiting for that as well. When is Jameis going to make that back-breaking overthrow? When is he going to make that misread, throw in the double coverage and get picked? When is the big-time boo-boo coming from Jameis? And it never did tonight. So you have to give Jameis Winston some credit for that as well. A really well-played game by the Bucs all the way around. The only thing you could really point to, and really 2 things. The safety, you got to get out of the end zone there if you're Peyton Barber. Got to stick your head down and find a way out of the end zone on that play. And then Matt Gay, your field goal kicker, missed a field goal, which could have put you in some trouble. If you lose this game 21-20, you're staring at Matt Gay, and you never want to whittle it down to one play when you lose a game by 1 point. There are normally several different plays throughout the course of the game that could have swung the favor of the game in your direction, but that would have been the one I would have looked at if I'm a Buccaneers fan. You lose this game by 1. Come on, Matt, you got to make that field goal. But nonetheless, gritty performance by the Bucs on the road. You get to 1-1 on the season, and I don't know, man. I know it's early, and I don't want to overreact. And if you watched the game last week, Tampa gave that game away. Okay, they gave that game away to San Francisco. They could easily be 2-0 right now on the season, but they're 1-1. This is a dangerous Buccaneers team. I don't know if it's going to result in postseason play or anything like that. It's too early to start using the P word. All right, don't start throwing that around. All right, we only 2 weeks in, but I can tell you this: they're going to be a tough out this year. They're going to be a team that's going to be in some ball games and win some ball games. If Winston does a good job of taking care of the football with the way they're playing defense, this is a gritty defensive unit. And they didn't even have their first round pick for much of this game. He didn't come back after the delay. All right? For much of this game, they were without their star linebacker. So I'm looking at this Bucs defense, and I'm saying to myself, if they can play like this on a consistent basis, and they were pretty damn good last week. Keep in mind, of the 31 points San Francisco scored last week, 14 of them came on pick sixes by Jameis Winston. All right? So it's not like the defense was giving up a whole bunch of stuff. A lot of that was given up by the offense. So this is a defense that's going to keep them in games. And if Winston and the offense can kind of give us what we just saw tonight, they're going to win some games too. So that was pretty damn impressive by the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. On the road, no less, in a place that has been a house of horrors for you. That was really, really impressive. Now you look at it from the Panthers standpoint. That was so disappointing, it's not even funny. I thought the play calling was horrendous. Cam, in a game that you lose by 6 at home, there is no excuse for Cam Newton to be throwing the football 50 plus times. None whatsoever. Don't want to hear it. All right? I thought they abandoned Christian McCaffrey in the run game way too soon. I thought just getting him the ball more, and I get it, your line is getting destroyed. And you got to keep him in the block a little bit more than you wanted to. But there needed to be more opportunities for Christian McCaffrey in this game. He didn't touch it enough. Any game in which Christian McCaffrey has less than 25 touches, there's a problem for this Panthers offense. It's not going to go well for them. He's too vital to the success of this team offensively for them to not have him touch it at least 25 times. It's just, it's a shame because the offense shouldn't be predicated based off of the production of one man, but that's how important he is to this offense. And they shut him down on the ground. Will find ways, manufacture ways to get him involved. They just stopped giving it to him. It's almost as if Norv Turner forgot he even existed in the second half of this game. Not to say that he was killing it, he was on a roll and they just stopped giving it to him. But similar to a shooter, you keep shooting because eventually they're going to start going in. You keep finding ways to create opportunities for him. They're blitzing. All right? Don't keep him in the block. Send him out on a route one-on-one against a back. All right? See if that backer can hold up. I would have loved to have seen him one-on-one when he's sending the kitchen sink against a backer. Come on, man. Christian McCaffrey's going to win one of those matchups. I just thought that the one that killed me was the one at the end of the game. 4th and inches, and you're going to go. First of all, teams that go from the gun for 4th and 2 or less, really 4th and 1. I don't mind you getting in the gun as 4th and 2. If it's 4th and 1 or less and you're in the gun, that shit makes me want to vomit. Because you take away any thought of play action fake, you take away any thought of quarterback sneak. And if I'm them in that particular situation with a 6'5", 240-pound quarterback, is there any debate whether Cam's getting the first down if you sneak this? Like, are we seriously having a conversation about whether a 6'5" quarterback is going to pick up 6 inches on any given snap? Yet you think it's okay to run trickeration down by the goal line on 4th and 1? You deserve to lose the damn game. That is horrendous, hideous play calling. You got way too cute. But that was the play calling the entire night. So why would you think anything different was going to come? They threw it 50 some odd times in a game where it was wet outside and it was 20 to 14. And he threw it 50 times. You would have thought the Panthers were down by double digits the entire second half and they were trying to battle back with the way Cam Newton's numbers look. The man couldn't hit the backside of a barn tonight. And he was under duress the entire night. And you didn't do anything to help him. No screens, no draws, no runs, no easy completions. Norv Turner turned the clock back to when he had Philly Rivers at quarterback. He forgot that he had Cam Newton at quarterback tonight. He didn't make anything easy on Cam. And Cam didn't make anything easy on himself. Even the easy throws he missed. He was behind. Greg Olsen got to pull down one-hand grabs because Cam's behind him. Cam was off, but Cam's not right. Cam wasn't even looking to run. This is the second week in a row. Cam did not look to run. Don't talk to me about, hey, Cam's fine. We haven't called games any differently. They had one called run last week versus the Rams, and they may have had one, possibly two at most tonight. I know the one on the read option where he fumbled, he probably should have given that. But that wasn't a called Cam Newton quarterback draw. We used to see that all the time. I saw space and opportunity for Cam to tuck it and run on several occasions when the Bucs were in man-to-man defense, backs turned, running down the field with receivers, and he refused to run and took sacks and pressure instead. The man is not right. He's not right. And this new throwing motion, I don't even know how new it is. It's not working. Whatever the case may be, you call it whatever you want. Cam's never been the most accurate dude in the world, but some of these throws, you're like, come on now, Cam can make that throw. Like, and last year we just blamed it on the shoulder. Is the shoulder healthy? Because if it is, we got different problems on our hands right now. Because a sore foot generally doesn't do that. And you know, you're trying to step into your throw or, you know, whatever foot. I don't know which foot it is. Is it the plant foot? You know, whatever the case may be. He's off. He's not right. And they don't run him, and he's not running. He's not right. He's not right. And I said it before the season started. Everyone knows this. I'm not telling you anything you don't already know. This team goes as Cam Newton goes. And he's not right, and thus you're 0-2 to start the season. And it's a shame because I actually thought you played well enough in week 1 to win, but you made too many mistakes. So you didn't win. And now in week 2, you had a prime opportunity to get off the schneid, get back to 500 on the season, get a win in the division, and you blew it. You blew it. You're 0-2 at home. You're not protecting BOA. It's gonna be a tough uphill battle for you. Because now you gotta go on the road. And you gotta try to win some on the road. And I'm not gonna demean Tampa anymore. I'm not gonna play the you gotta beat Tampa at home game, because this isn't the same Tampa Bay Buccaneers you're used to beating up on at home. This is a different group, different coach, different staff, different players. You saw it tonight. This is the second week in a row I was impressed with Tampa Bay's defense. Again, last week, it wasn't the defense's fault. They not only did the defense score with a pick six by Bernard Hargreaves last week, but they shut down San Francisco's offense for the most part. They didn't do much on offense. They gave up one big play to Richie James over the top. Everything else was pretty much the fault of the offense. I'm just going to put a lot of it on the lap of the offense. They were horrible last week. This defense is for real. They're going to keep, I'm not saying they're elite, but Todd Bowles with this young defense going to keep them in ball games. It's the offense's job to go out and win them the game, but the defense is going to keep them in games just like they did tonight. And if the offense is good enough, they're going to win some of those games. Just like they did tonight. So, with that being said, let's get to the comment section and see what you guys have to say. This game is unbelievable. Appreciate the super chat, Everyday Flash, my man. Good looking out. Appreciate you. So, let's get to some comments. Romonger3 says, it seems like everyone has found Super Cam's kryptonite since the Super Bowl failed. I don't know if there's necessarily a kryptonite. He's just hurt. The man is not healthy. That's the kryptonite. Cam Newton's at his best when he is a threat as a runner. You take that aspect of his game away, he's not the same quarterback. When you have a Cam Newton that is unable or unwilling to run, it changes the dynamics of what he is as a football player. It makes him much easier to defend. The thing that was the toughest about Cam Newton is you could defend down the field with great coverage. He tucks it and runs and picks up 13 on 3rd and 7, and it breaks your back. You're like, damn, I broke my back. Like Tyson. Now, on 3rd and 7, he's trying to hang tough in the pocket, and he's airmailing out breaking routes to guys 6 yards out of bounds. He's throwing footballs behind receivers. He's throwing it right to a guy instead of where he's going so the defender that's trailing on the play can dive and knock it away. He's off. Let's see. Alan Beasley says, I hope I'm just overreacting here, but do you think Cam could be the next Andrew Luck early retirement? No, he loves football too much. He's not going to retire. He would have to be chased from the game, and that's not going to happen to him in Carolina. But he's not right. He's not right now. John Niner says, if I'm the Panthers, time to move on from Rivera. Also, Cam can't overreact like that. I tried to move on from Ron Rivera about 3 years ago. I was wrong. He's a really good football coach, man. But if he doesn't win this year, I could easily see changes coming. This was supposed to be a year in which the Panthers bounced back, and it's not off to a good start. They're not dead yet. It's only 2 weeks. But it's tough to rebound from 0-2, especially when those 2 games came at home. So, and Cam's not going anywhere. Let's see. Everyday Flash says, I can't win a Thursday night game. Grr. I'm right there with you, man. You want to talk about somebody bitching and moaning and complaining out there watching the Panthers piss the game away? I'm like, can I get a Thursday nighter, man? Shit. I just want to get off to a good... First of all, last week was such a rough week for the good guy that I needed to get off to a good... just like the same shooter analogy. I'm a shooter. When I play basketball, I'm a 3-and-D guy. I'm a shooter. I need to see one go in for my psyche. I needed to see this game go in my favor for my psyche going into Sunday. Now I'm questioning myself in my picks on Sunday like, man, I could be in trouble again. I was in trouble last week. I got off to a rough start. I couldn't dig myself up out of the hole. I'm looking at my picks after tonight and I'm saying, man, did I just do it again? Did I just put myself in a really bad spot again? I just want a Thursday night win, man. Can I get one? I'm with you every day. I'm with you, bro. All right. Moving right along, though. Let's see. Sanchez11 says, who would you give the coaching advantage to tonight? Obviously, I don't even need to answer that. Christian Ritchie says, who gets fired first, Ron Rivera or Jay Gruden? Please let me know your opinion. Let's see. I don't see either. Again, if this thing gets out of control to where this team is 1-9, yeah, Ron Rivera could get fired. I don't anticipate Ron Rivera getting fired. His team isn't going to quit on him. All right. Equally is optimistic. I don't see Jay Gruden getting fired. Again, if the season spirals out of control and Jay Gruden has set the stage for his players to tune him out with the Adrian Peterson activity in week 1, I still don't anticipate the team quitting on Jay Gruden. I don't think that team is bad enough to get into a rut to where it falls apart. And Daniel Snyder has shown the ability to have patience with a coach during the season. He's only fired one coach in season, and that was Norv Turner. And that was when he was a young owner. He hasn't done that. He's had ample opportunities to fire coaches in season, like Mike Shanahan, and I don't want to turn this into a Redskins debate and conversation, but Jim Zorn, and he didn't do it in either situation. And both of those were 2-14, 3-13 type seasons. That's not going to happen to the Redskins this year. I don't see Jay Gruden getting fired. I don't see either of them getting fired. Buck Nation says, put some respect on our name tonight. Top 10 defense. Heard it here first. All right. I put a lot of respect on your name. I put extra respect on your name with an extra T at the end. I don't know about top 10 defense because there were a lot of holes in your D tonight. The problem was Darrell Williams was ass tonight. Straight ass cheeks. And to make matters worse, Cam didn't anticipate blitz well enough tonight to get rid of the football. He hung on to it just a whisker too long, and Todd Bowles just kept coming with the sink, bro. The kitchen sink, the bathroom sink, the garage sink, any sink that was available, he was throwing it at Cam, and they couldn't handle it. Hey, appreciate the super chat. Brown Shoe T2, my man BST2 says, making money, driving my semi, and listening to you, Lou. Only way it could get better is if we had a real game on, LOL. I appreciate that, man. Appreciate the super chat. So, I got respect on your name, Bucs Nation. I really do, man. I talked about you guys already. I'm putting that respect on your name. He also says, Shaq eating out there, 3 sacks. Man, was he a beast. I've always liked Shaq Barrett back to the Denver days. When they and remember, he was a huge part of that Super Bowl season in 2015 when it was him, Von Miller, and Shane Ray. They had a nasty, formidable pass rush, and they just kept coming off the bench. It was just guy and of course DeMarcus Ware. It was just guy after guy after guy that could come at you in waves. And I always liked Shaq Barrett, and I'm glad he's getting the opportunity to shine in Tampa. And man, is he not wasting this opportunity away? He's taking full advantage of this opportunity in Tampa. Atlas says, what a difference a week makes. Last week, people were getting out the cyanide pills. This week, we're feeling good. Let's do some damage this year. And a lot of that is on Jameis. I mean, let's face it. Last week, people were down on Jameis Winston, and they were saying, hey, we got to get rid of his ass. It's time for him to go. Even the staunchest of Buccaneer supporters in Reed, and he's been a Jameis supporter through and through, said, man, I think it might be time for me to pull the plug on Jameis, man. I've been supporting him, but this guy is a turnover machine. Well, this week, he took care of the football, and look what it got you, along with a very, very impressive defensive performance. Definitely, that's why this league is so crazy. 1 week you're up, the next week you're down. 1 week you're down, the next week you're up. That's the National Football League in a nutshell, and that's why we love this game so much. Let's see. Let's get to some more comments. Atlas says 2018 Bucs and 2019 Bucs are so far polar opposite. You wouldn't know it right now, but we've had a top 5 passing attack for years now. I'm thinking the offense will pick it up. I'm not sure if they will or not, because I just don't know. I'll just leave it at that. I still have my reservations about Jameis Winston, but if you can protect him as you did for the vast majority of tonight, he can do some special things with the football. There's no denying the talent that Jameis Winston possesses. That's why this man has gotten so many opportunities. If he were a lesser quarterback, he would have been relegated to the bench, and you would have already been on a quest for a new quarterback. The talent is definitely there. You don't spend the number 1 overall pick on a quarterback if he's not talented. He's just got it. It's all about upstairs. It's all about the mental side of things for him. It isn't physical with Jameis Winston. We saw some throws tonight that were on the money. Even the throw where Godwin had to dive out of bounds and catch it and barely didn't get his knee in bounds. It's a beautiful throw by Winston from his own end zone. Like, Winston made some awesome throws tonight. When he's protected, he's dangerous. You saw it again tonight. Reese says, I want to call in, Lou. All right, well, since you asked, let's do it, man. Let's open up these phone lines and let you guys have at it. There's the number. Have at it, guys. Phone lines are open. John Niner says, 49ers defense is legit, but you guys think we're terrible, but Kyle's going to get this offense rolling by week 4. I don't think you're terrible. You know I'm a Kyle Shanahan guy. So I'm more concerned with the defense probably than I am the offense. You got Bosa banged up, and, you know, they were good. They weren't great in week 1 versus Tampa Bay. So I'm anxious. I actually have you losing in week 2 on the road against Cincinnati. You want to prove your defense is legit? Go on the road and silence a Cincinnati Bengals team that almost put up 500 yards of total offense on Seattle, in Seattle. Andy Dalton having a career day. I want to see you go out there and silence those guys. They're playing with some confidence, even though they lost last week. You're on live with your man, Louie T. Who am I speaking with?
Hey, Lou, this is Ree.
Hey, what's going on, Ree, man? Congratulations on the win, man.
Thanks. Did you recognize me this time?
I do. I do.
I need your help with something, Lou. Maybe you can help me out.
Talk to me.
All right. Did we step in a time machine and go back to 2003?
It had that kind of feel to it. This defense is a little bit different from that one in the way they get things done. That defense, they didn't blitz at all. You know, under Monty Kiffin, it was Tampa 2. You got pressure with just 4 with Simeon and Sapp and all those guys and McFarland. You didn't have to blitz. This defense is going to blitz consistently under Todd Bowles. It's going to be a lot different, but you're playing defense nonetheless. Something you probably haven't seen in Tampa in quite some time.
I remember you telling me that. I remember when we hired Bruce Arians along with Todd Bowles, I went on one of your videos and I said, Lou, what should I expect from Todd Bowles? You said he's going to blitz the shit out of everyone.
That's what he does. That's his calling card, man. And he's not afraid.
You said he's going to bring everyone. And I was like, are you exaggerating a little bit? You said no. You said if you have 2 legs, he's going to blitz your ass.
Yep. That's it, man. That's what he does. And you're going to live by the sword, die by the sword. But I much rather live by the blitz. As a Redskin fan, it pains me because we refuse to blitz aggressively. Todd blitzes from every angle, safeties, backers, corners in the slot. I mean, they're coming from everywhere. I just love his aggressive nature.
You know, Lou, you've seen a lot of Panthers and Bucs games. Mm-hmm. That direct snap, I understand why they did it, because you know how many times we've bitten on a play like that in the past?
But I understand that, but it's 4th and inches, Reed. You got Cam Newton, Reed. If he leans forward, it's a first down.
They're used to Mike Smith, Lou. They don't understand.
Yeah, I totally get that, man. They're used to inept Buccaneers defense. Guys not being where they're supposed to be. It's a different day now, and I thought North Turner outsmarted himself and got outcoached by Todd Bowles for the vast majority of the night. So.
You know what, Lou? That stop by Vernon Hargreaves, that could be a tone setter for this defense and for this team. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. I mean, if you look at the defense last week, I thought the defense was really good last week. Vernon Hargreaves had a pick 6. Jimmy Garoppolo was not great last week. They didn't run the ball with all that much consistency. Again, offensively, 2 pick 6s will break your back every single time. You gave up 1 big play to Richie James over the top. Outside of that, I thought the defense was really good last week.
And we usually, like last year, if we lost one of our starters on defense, we'd fold like a damn lawn chair.
Yeah.
We lost Devin White, and we let it roll off our back.
Yeah, and that's part of that Todd Bowles mentality, next man up. And I forgot the name of the linebacker that stepped in there, but he was playing his ass off. He's playing his ass off. Yes, Mentor. There you go. Another one of those LSU guys that you seem to love in Tampa at the linebacker position came in and there was 0 drop off. 0.
This offense still looks like it's working out the kinks, you know?
Yeah.
It looks like we're trying to still fine-tune things. They understand what needs to be done, but they're still trying to figure out – they're not trying to figure out what to do. They're trying to figure out how to do it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah,
and I still think you're missing that guy in the slot, like Humphreys you had last year.
Man, if we had Humphreys, Lou, that freaking pass to Rashad Perriman that he dropped.
Yeah, man, right through his damn wickets in the end zone. That's a beautiful throw by Jameis. Beautiful. I'm glad you brought that up.
Adam Humphreys catches that in his sleep.
Yeah, and I think that's the element that you're missing right now. If you had him with the way this defense is playing and the way this offense looks, because obviously Chris Godwin is taking that next step. I believe he is ready to be a legit number 2 option in this league. And now you just need that third guy in there, and Humphreys would have been perfect for that.
That boy, Chris Godwin, he catches everything, Lou.
Everything. Even the one that was out of bounds I talked about, that still was a hell of a catch.
He could catch a baseball with his foot.
He was outstanding tonight. This was a big win. In past years, this would have been a loss. This would have been an excruciating loss at the end. Instead, you found a way to win this game. And I don't know if this is a sign of things to come for this season or not. I'll reserve judgment on that. But I can say this. In past years, this would have been a loss. Tonight is a good night if you're a Bucs fan, and it gives you hope for the future in 2019. You should be really excited about what
You know
this
what
season looks
you
like.
know what I just thought of, Lou? What if at some point this season we get Jason Pierre-Paul back?
That would make this team even scarier because you still, with Shaq Barrett, I kept asking who's going to get pressure on the quarterback. And I remember, I don't know if it was you or another Bucs fan that brought up Shaq Barrett. And I said, well, I've always liked Shaq Barrett. We'll see what he does now that he's going to be out in a main starring role. And he's taking full advantage of this opportunity. You get JPP back, add him on the other side, and you can keep Vita Vea healthy because I thought he was exceptional inside tonight.
Yeah, he was.
If you can keep him healthy, you get JPP back, you got Shaq Barrett on the other side. Now all of a sudden, this defense takes a quantum leap forward. So that's a really good point. If you can find a way to get him back and get him back healthy, this could be a scary defense, man, for sure.
We've got 10 days off, and then we face the Giants and Ray J, and then we have that long murderer's row of a road stretch, 49 days with no home game.
Yeah,
that's some bullshit.
That's insane, brother. But 10 days off in the Giants, I'd go ahead and pencil in a win for you right now, man. That looks pretty good to me. But anyway, Avery, man, thanks for chiming in. And that's 2 times in a row, man. You're hot. You're hot. That's 2 times you called in a row.
I wasn't going to call in, but I had to talk to somebody about this because I had so much going through my head.
Hey, man, love hearing from you, Reed. Take care of yourself.
All right, man, you too.
No doubt. Hey, Christian Ritchie, thanks for the super chat, man. Really appreciate it. He says, Lou, you are the truth and Spitfire. You the man, Louie. True soul survivor. I lost money, but I have to give 2 up, 2 down rep. Hey, that's right. 2 up, 2 down VA all day. That's how we do it. Let's see. Let's get to some more comments. So, Reed, who we just talked to, says, this could be a tone setter for our season, Lou. That stop could elevate this defense and this team to a new level. We needed something like that. That was a big win. It was a hell of a stop by Vernon Hargraves III. Reed says, just imagine if we get JPP back at this point, which he just said, which would definitely set this defense off. Reed says, could a stint as a head coach help someone become a better coordinator? Yes, absolutely. But you're always going to want to be your own guy. So if you're referring to Todd Bowles, he was already a great defensive coordinator in Arizona. So he's not going to forget how to do that. But he wants to be a head coach again. And I think he got a raw deal in New York with the Jets. And I think it's only a matter of time before he gets another opportunity. It may be here in Tampa Bay. He may be the heir apparent once there's no more Bruce Arians. But that could be a long way off. We'll see what happens. Atlas says, man, Olsen always has some great games versus my Bucs. He'll be putting up 100 yards even when he's 50. You know what's funny? Is Greg had a big night, but I can't help but think about that one catch over the middle of the field where it was just him and the safety. And back in the day, Greg would have gave him a nice little Sierra 1-2 step and then broke him off with a little something and then Merck for about another 40 for a touchdown. Greg looked like he was 77 years old out on the floor trying to do a line dance, man. I don't know what the hell that was, but he gave 7 shimmies, went nowhere, took 5 steps in the same spot, and then tried to cut and went nowhere and got tackled. It was the worst old man juke I've ever seen in my life, and all I could do was laugh. But he still gave y'all work tonight, for sure, without a doubt. Reese says the offense looks like they're still working out kinks. Indeed, they do. But again, as long as you don't turn it over with the way you're playing defense, you're going to have a chance. I can't reiterate that enough. You turn it over, it's going to take away from this defense. You don't turn it over, you're going to be in ball games with a chance to win. Sanchez 11 says, how about chipping Shaq? Dude was wrecking D-Will. Yes. I mean, at some point, how about just taking Christian McCaffrey if you're going to keep him in the block, which is what they were doing a lot. How about you just keep him in on that side of the formation, or you have him chip on the way out. But they didn't offer enough help to Darrell Williams at all. He got his ass destroyed tonight. And there was one play, the one to Curtis Samuel, never, ever trust a man with 2 first names, on the bench route when he was wide open in the end zone. and Shaq Barrett came around the edge and hit Cam and knocked him down and made that pass incomplete. And they showed the slow-mo replay of Cam cussing on the ground. And all you see is Darrell Williams' hand extended out to Cam, and Cam looking at him like, bitch, you got me hit again and just cost us the goddamn game. Get your damn hand out my face. That's what he said in his head. But he grabbed his hand after staring at it for like 3 seconds. And then and Darrell pulled him up, and I was like, I would love to just be in Cam's head for 5 seconds, because I know there was a lot of cuss words and, man, get your damn hand out my face, man. It's nothing worse than the dude that gives up the sack that forces a fumble, that comes over and then wants to help you get up. Get off me, man. Block your goddamn man. That's how Cam felt when Darrell Williams was trying to help him up. You caused me to be down here. Get off me. Anyway, let's get back to the comment section. Did I miss any calls? I don't think I missed any calls. Sean Bernard Jr. says, it still dawns on me how throughout Cam's Panthers career, that this organization is not focused on getting offensive linemen in the draft or big-time free agent. This line is pathetic. This line is not good enough. I can tell you that right now. It's been a problem throughout Cam's career, but not to this extent. This looks pretty bad. And they didn't do a good enough job of helping out a guy that you saw that was struggling. At some point, you see him struggling, you got to help him out. They didn't do enough, I thought, to help him out there. Bjorn Charlie says, the caller rarely even sounds like Bagel Boss guy. I don't even know what that means, but that's my guy, Reed. And Atlas says, this extended break is good for us now. Hopefully Evans gets over his flu and Devin White is good to go for the Giants. Yeah. Anytime you win on a Thursday on a short abbreviated week, it feels so good. Now you're going to watch those games on Sunday with your feet up on the couch, arms behind your head, and you're just going to be relaxing. And you're going to be rooting for every team in your division to lose. You're going to be like, come on, Rams, beat the Saints. And you're going to be like, come on, Eagles, beat the Falcons. And you're just going to be relaxing. And it's going to feel so good to know that you don't have to play on Sunday. And you've already taken care of business. It's a great feeling. And it's a big win, man. It really, really is. So, with that being said, no more comments. I'm going to go ahead and get out of here. I thank you guys for joining me on this late installment of Thursday Night Football overtime. We had the delay in the game, and then this was a long game because Cam Newton decided he was going to throw it 50 some odd times. And the man had less than 50% completion percentage in this game, so you know a lot of balls were hitting the ground, so that made the game take even longer. But nonetheless, the Buccaneers found a way to win this game. It didn't look like it was going to happen. I thought they were going to lose this one late. But somehow, some way, they made all of the right plays. The defense stood on its head time and time again, and they get it done in this game. Think about this. They gave up 12 points tonight. 4 field goals. That's it. The offense gave up a safety. They gave up 4 field goals. They stood up and stopped the Panthers tonight, and they deserved the game ball, and they helped this Buccaneers team get this victory. 20-14 over the Panthers, who are now in some serious trouble as they drop to 0-2 on the season. Bucs get back to 500 at 1-1 on the season, but more importantly, they're 1-0 in the division with that one win coming on the road in Carolina. I'm your man Louie T signing off. Remember, if it's not your man T, it's not the best NFL coverage it could be. Until next time, you guys enjoy the college football over the weekend. We'll come back. We'll do this again on Sunday and do it all over again. I'm your man Louie T. Have a good one.